All right, and welcome back, everyone, to the championship round of the Thon Extravaganza, the Memorial Tournament. We are nearing the end of the tournament right now. We have 3 mats going simultaneously, and on mat number 1, we are about to start the Tristan Haley Jackson Moore third place match in the 126 bracket, and it is right now 5-0 in favor of Jackson Moore of Evanston. Both these young men are jockeying for position as the first period comes to an end, and it is still 5-0 in favor of Jackson Moore of Evanston. As we begin the second period, Moore is going to take the down and Haley will mount, and we are off and running in the second period. Quickly a shootout and turnaround by Moore, and then Moore has an ankle of Haley and unable to do anything with it. Finally gets back control on Moore, and it is 7-0 with 1:35 left in the second period in the third place match in the 126-pound bracket. Moore has the right wrist of Haley, and Haley not really able to go anywhere because of Moore's having control of the wrist. There is 1:14 and counting left in the second period, 7-0 in favor of Jackson Moore. Both men up against the circle, up against the side. Referee right on top of everything with just under a minute left in the second period. Jackson Moore is trying to look for a cradle with 45 seconds left in the second period. If he's able to get it, he'd have to watch where he goes, because if he rolls one way, he'll be out of bounds. Haley unable still to do anything. Moore is able to keep control, and referee calls for an illegal hold, break. And so we go back to the center, and Haley will quickly go down to all fours in the center of the mount, and then Jackson Moore will mount with 28 seconds left in the second period, 7-0 in favor of Moore. Haley tries to scoot out and unable to do so. Moore is able to hold on to him tightly. Keeps him very close. Got a death grip around the waist as Moore. 13 seconds and counting left in the second period. And Tristan Haley is going to be content to let this one run out in the second period. And that's exactly what happens as Jackson Moore and Haley go to the third period, with 7-0 being the score in favor of Evanston's Jackson Moore. As the third period begins, it's one of those dangerous positions and ankles and all sorts of stuff. Nothing really going on there except for a lot of twisting and tying. Haley and Moore getting into it. Both the young men unable to really get anything going. If Moore Moore's got a double underhook, so if he can roll with it correctly, he'd have the double underhook pinfall attempt. Unable to do so, has to break it. And now Tristan Haley has the control and now gets on top and gets 2 points on back control, makes it 7-2 with a minute left in the third period in the third place match of the 126-pound bracket. And right now it is Jackson Moore playing pretty much defense, not letting anything happen that is not under his control, with 45 seconds and counting left in the third period. And 7-2 in favor of Jackson Moore. Both men are out of bounds with 35 seconds left, and so they will go back to the center of the mat with a few seconds left in the third period, and 7-2 score in favor of Evanston's Jackson Moore. Haley will mount, and quickly Moore just drops down, again making sure that nothing happens that he's not ready for, with 25 seconds and counting left in the third period. Moore has become pretty much dead weight and not letting Haley move him at all in the final 15 seconds of this one. So borrowing anything crazy in the next 10 seconds, Jackson Moore of Evanston will be the third place will take third place in the 126 bracket of the 2022 Thon tournament. And that is exactly what happens. When we reach the first and second place matches, Coach Jay Gailey is going to join me on air. That's going to be something to look forward to. And so right now, over on mat number 2, it is Walker Wilson of Evanston and Green Rivers in a fifth place match with 45 seconds left in that one. Over on the third mat, it is another fifth place match. That's Connor Vickery taking on Nathaniel Boren of Gray Bull, and the fourth mat has been taken down and they have pulled the bleachers out. So actually we've got a crowd surrounding us right now, and again, it is a long tournament. It's been a long couple of days, and we're reaching near the end, it looks like. And I say that, and then who knows what happens after this. So we still have the first and second rounds of the men to play, to wrestle. And as far as I understand, I'm going to double check this on the brackets. We still have the first and second round and third round matches, third place matches for the girls to go. And so we are really not even close to being done still. So right now we are waiting for there's a third round match that is going to take place on the second mat. That'll be Kelton Ewing taking on Gabe Emery on mat number 2 in third place. And right now over on mat number 1, that is Liam Fox of Cheyenne East taking on Ross Conclaves of Worland. And that is a third place match. And they are in the second period with 2 minutes left, and it's 4-1 in favor of Ross Conclaves of Worland. So right now it is a mixture of third place and fifth place matches on all 3 mats that are in front of us. Rudy Osborne and Connor Todd will be in the fifth place match over on mat number 1, and that should be a good one. Osborne, a really, really talented wrestler. So is Connor Todd. So looking forward to that one after the Conclaves and Fox Cheyenne East and Worland match. On mat number 2, we are 14 seconds away from the fifth place match ending between Walker Wilson and the Kale Konovich from Green River, and that match does end. It is 4-1 in favor of Kale Konovich. So now it'll be Kelton Ewing of Douglas taking on Gabe Emery in the third place match for the 138-pounders on mat number 2. Over on mat number 3, it is Jake Hammer of Pinedale taking on Luke Ewing of Douglas. That's over, and they just got started. They're in the first period still. So Ewing and Emery on mat number 2 square off as we begin the first period, 55 seconds and counting. And already Emery is in a little bit of trouble. Ewing doesn't have a traditional pinfall move, and as soon as I say that, Emery is to get out of that pinfall attempt. But still a near fall awarded to Kelton Ewing of Douglas, so it's 5-0 in favor of Douglas. Ewing has side control, looking to cradle up Emery again. This time Emery is able to reverse it, and now they're just locked arms with 3 seconds left in the first period. And that is going to be the end of the first period with the score 5-0 in favor of Kelton Ewing. Ewing will take the neutral position at the start of the first period, at the beginning of the second period. And Emery tries to shoot in on Ewing, unable to do so. Both men standing in the center of the mat, now circling around a little bit as a minute and 40 and counting. And Emery tries to shoot in on Ewing again, unable to do so for the second time. And both men stand up to a vertical base again. This time it's Emery who gets shot in on by Ewing. And this time, Ewing actually gets a successful one, gets a hold of an ankle, and now takes back control, makes it 7-0 in favor of Kelton Ewing. Emery trying to battle his way back up to a standing vertical base, and Ewing is not letting it happen. There's a minute left in the second period, and a 7-0 score in favor of Kelton Ewing. And now Emery is on his back, and Ewing is pulling and pulling and pulling, trying to get a pinfall. There is still 42 seconds left in the second period, and Kelton Ewing has got his all his weight on the shoulders, and finally they're out of bounds. Referee awards 3 points in a near fall to Kelton Ewing. And so it is 10-0 with 30 seconds left in the second period. Ewing riding on to Emery, making sure he doesn't go anywhere. And again, there's another attempt at a cradle. This time there's actually one going. 14 seconds left. And now Emery ends up on top of Ewing for a few seconds. And with 7 seconds, Ewing is going to try to shoot the half, unable to do so as the second period comes to an end, 10-0. Emery had the opportunity there for a second to get a possible pinfall attempt, but Ewing, quicker of the two on the draw, keeps it at 10-0 in the third period in this third place match in the 138-pound bracket. And right off the draw, Ewing is looking to get the cradle pinfall again, burying the head of Emery into the mat, unable to really get anything going. Emery has gone full dead on weight. Nice leg sprawl there by Emery to make sure that he is not going anywhere. Ewing trying to break him down. Got a hammerlock on Emery, does Ewing now. There is a minute and 30 seconds left in the third period, and Ewing is looking to shoot the half, and he's looking to roll that arm and put Emery back on his back, and that's exactly what happens. Emery now trying to stay up on his off his shoulders. Ewing has got the arm right where he wants it, and he's just got to put all his weight down, which he does. Emery still trying to kick and crawl, trying to twist, trying to do anything he can to keep those shoulders on the mat. Ewing has given up the control of the arm, which gives Emery the opportunity to get back on his stomach, and so that'll be 3 points on a near fall for Emery, and it is 13-0 in favor of Kelton Ewing. There is 40 seconds left in the third period. Both men looking up at the score clock. 13 and 35 seconds and counting, with 13-0 in favor of Kelton Ewing. Ewing got a hold of the arm, and Emery tries to roll out, unable to do so. Ewing has a death grip on that arm. There is 20 seconds left in the third period, and again, no one is able to get any points going this way, as Ewing is trying still desperately to get Emery on his back, unable to do so. 10 seconds left, and it's 13-0 in favor of Kelton Ewing, and at this point, 3 seconds, 2 and 1, that'll do it. And so Kelton Ewing of Douglas will take third place for the 138-pound bracket. And a good match on his part. We need to have all girls ready to wrestle in 10 minutes. All girls ready to wrestle in 10 minutes. And if you just heard that, we are about to enter into the placing of the girls. So the girls will take the mat in about 10-ish minutes. And right now on the mat in front of me is Rudy Osborne of Sheridan and Connor Todd of Riverton in the 5th place match. They are within a minute of finishing that match, and Connor Todd has got Rudy Osborne on the mat, close to a pinfall situation. It is 8-1 in favor of Todd. And make that now 11-1 in favor of Todd on the near fall, with 40 seconds left in the third period. We have got a lot going on in the next little bit. The girls are going to be coming up, and they're going to be wrestling in their placement matches, and we have got some barn burners of first place and second place matches that are going to come up here in the next few minutes as well. There is 12 seconds on the clock over to my left between the match between Rudy Osborne and Connor Todd. And after this, there's going to be a third place match in the 152 pounds. Jake Hicks of Wheatland is going to take on Peyton Trupler of Shoshone in what should be an interesting contest. Hicks had an excellent match a couple hours ago, and Peyton Trupler as well had a barn burner of a match a few hours ago as well. So they are now going to enter the mat, and so it's going to be Trupler versus Hicks, Wheatland versus Shoshone for the third place in the 152-pound weight class. Also, over on mat number 2 right now, Wyatt McDermott is taking on Jace Berry of Natrona County. That is a 5th place match, and it is 4-2 in favor of McDermott as of right now. So Peyton Trupler and Hicks square off on mat number 1, and we're off and running. Both young men, low stances, and Hicks shoots in on Trupler, and Trupler does not waste any time. He's going for the pinfall right now. He's on top of Hicks, and Hicks is trying to squirm and finally is able to get away. However, does a 3-point near fall in favor of Peyton Trupler. And then a takedown as well for Trupler, so makes it 5-0 in favor of the Shoshone Wrangler. Both young men try to twirl out and end up out of bounds. So with 28 seconds left in the first period, Peyton Trupler was going for the pinfall early. Hicks tries to squirm out, unable to do so as we start wrestling back up. Both young men circling around, and Trupler has both of the arms locked of Hicks, so he's not going anywhere as of right now. It looks like Trupler's trying to set up for the roll through, unable to do so. Ends up getting back on top of the back of Hicks as the both young men try to roll through, unable to do so again. And so at the end of the first period, it is 5-0 in favor of Peyton Trupler of Shoshone. Trupler, I believe, has changed singlets. I don't think that was the same singlet he had on. It is now all white with the Wrangler symbol on the back. So it is now 5-1 as both men come back to a neutral position. There's 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the second period. Both young men are staring each other down. Trupler tries to shoot in on Hicks, Hicks tries to shoot in on Trupler. Trupler is able to get back on the top of Hicks, and then we go from there. Both men sit around the center of the mat, and Trupler has almost like a half Boston, half full Nelson on Hicks. Hicks unable to get out of that, and Trupler gives up that position. Now has both arms and trying to roll Hicks onto his back. There is 1 minute and 8 seconds left in a 7-1 lead in favor of Peyton Trupler of Shoshone. The roll-up pinfall attempt not there, and so they go back to a central position, and a illegal hold on Trupler gives a point to Hicks, and now it is 7-2 with 55 seconds left in the second period of this third place match for the 152-pound athletes. Hicks will take the bottom and Trupler will take the top, and Trupler quickly gives up position, and Hicks gets back to a vertical base, makes it 7-3. 45 seconds and counting in the second period over on mat number 1. Hicks tries to shoot in on Trupler. Trupler wide base, unable to get anything going is Hicks. They both try to go down, and they both take a deep breath as they both come back to a neutral position at a 7-3 match with 20 seconds left in the second period. Again, Hicks tries to shoot in on Trupler. Trupler does not give it up. This time, a takedown by Trupler on Hicks. 6 seconds left, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a pinfall there, and there is not. However, it is a near fall awarded to Trupler as Hicks just goes straight down, and so it is 12-3 in favor of Peyton Trupler as we enter the third period. And they are going to go eye to eye in the center of the ring as the third period starts. Both men very tentative, very cautious. No one's really done anything as of yet in the first 10 seconds of the third period. Now they lock up, and then they let go. And now they dance around back to the center of the ring. Hicks has got to make something happen. Trupler is completely fine with biding his time. Trupler shoots in, double leg takedown, and gets back control. Hicks very well to get off of his back. He almost had it right there. 14-3 now in favor of Peyton Trupler in this third place match on mat number 1. Hicks gets back up to a vertical base, 1 point. Now it's 14-4 with a minute exactly left in the third period. Trupler is completely fine with dancing around and letting anything happen that is his control. 14-4 in the third period. Hicks with a single leg shoot, and finally almost gets back control, but then Trumpler overpowers him and takes the control himself. So now it's 16-4 in favor of Trumpler. And now Trumpler gets back up, and Trumpler just lets Hicks back up. So 16-5 with under 20. And again, Hicks goes down, and this time Trumpler has got his shoulders down on the mat right here. This should be it with 9 seconds, 8 seconds. It's either going to be a point or it's going to be a pin, one of the two. And there it is. With 3 seconds left, Peyton Trumpler takes the pinfall victory over Jake Hicks in the third place match. So on mat number 3, after the match that is going on right now, which is Taryn Grooms of Sheridan and Wyatt Medall of Pinedale, we're going to have the first place match between Rebecca Anderson and Claire Neer of Laramie. And then over on mat number 2, we're going to have the, right now it is Murr and Camino in a 5th place match in the 160-pound weight class. And then Noah Sides of Natrona County will take on Grayson Berdree from Cody in the 3rd place match in the 182 bracket. So a lot going on right now. Over on mat number 1, Dylan Campbell of Cody is taking on Chevy Frackrell of Lyman. That's a 3rd place match in the 170-pound bracket. And then the match after that will determine the 5th place as Wyatt Tremblay of DuBois will take on Noah Hone of Kelly Walsh. As I look around, the crowd has gotten even bigger, if you can believe it, with the size of this tournament. From what I was told, 41 different high schools are represented in this tournament, and really a really good turnout with as many as there is here. And we've got for those that are driving across state, that's going to be a drive that I don't want to take. So hopefully they are not going to be leaving tonight, because if they are, that's going to be a long haul. So right now we are waiting on mat number 1 to open up between Noah Hone and Wyatt Tremblay of DuBois in the 5th place match. And then over on mat number 3, the girls are going to take center stage, as again Rebecca Anderson and Claire Neer will take the 1st place match. And then right after that on mat number 3 is Maddox Gilholson of Pinedale taking on Riley Brothers of Thunder Basin. And again, I want to remind everyone that is watching that coming up, Coach Jay Gailey will be with me as we call the 1st and 2nd place matches for the boys. That will happen at the conclusion of the girls and boys. So the girls place matches and then the boys 3rd and 5th place matches. So right now, over on mat number 1, it is 1-0 on that mat with 50 seconds left in the second period. However, there is a pinfall attempt happening over on mat number 1. The girls are now over on mat number 3. That is the first place match between Rebecca Anderson and Claire Neer. And they just started with just under 1:15 left in the first period. Rebecca Anderson of Moorcroft looking to put the pinfall early on Claire Neer over on mat number 3. Unable to do so as of yet. Still trying to get that left elbow and left arm. 36 seconds left and 2-0 in favor of Rebecca Anderson of Moorcroft. On mat number 2, you can probably hear the crowd. Tyson Muir and Hazen Camino are coming down to the wire. It's over. It is in a 4-2 victory in favor of Hazen Camino. And over on mat number 3, Rebecca Anderson of Moorcroft has taken first place in the girls division. And then that would mean Claire Neer is the runner-up. And then right after that is going to be the third place match over on mat number 3 as well. Noah Hone and Wyatt Tremblay are going to be on mat number 1 over to my left in the 5th place match in the 170-pound bracket. And that is coming up in the next minute and a half as Dylan Campbell and Chevy Fackrell are near the end of their match with just a minute left exactly. So on mat number 2 right now, it is Aiden Jorgensen of Thunder Basin taking on Cale Matthews of Douglas in a 5th place match in the 182-pound bracket. There are 40 seconds left in the match over on mat number 1. It is 4-3 with just now 30 seconds left in the 3rd place match between Campbell and Fackrell. Over on mat number 2, there is a big-time pinfall on. That is between Jorgensen and Matthews, and that is a pinfall in favor of Cale Matthews of Douglas. And so he will take 4th place, and then Jorgensen will take 5th place in that one. So now over on mat number 1, it is Noah Hone and Kelly Walsh and Wyatt Tremblay of Du Bois And they are off and running in this 5th place match in the 170-pound bracket. And quickly, Hone tries to shoot in on Tremblay, gets a single leg takedown, and then finally a takedown. No points given, and now back control is given to Hone. It is 2-0 now in favor of Hone. Hone really high up off the back, and then an illegal hold there on Noah Hone. And so we will reset with 36 seconds in the first period. Both men reset after the referee has to restart, and we are off and running again. Quickly, Noah Hone gets back up, and Tremblay back up, and then quickly Hone takes Tremblay back down. Hone is really high up on the shoulders of Tremblay, trying to get some kind of leverage to be able to get into an underhook, maybe a pinfall. Now decides to think better of it, and now he's going to try to shoot the half. 13 seconds left in the first period, and Noah Hone had a possible pinfall attempt, but then the referee says that's an illegal hold, so we go back to the center and we do it again. Quickly, Hone tries to get back up, and a lot of stuff going on right there in the end of the first period. However, it is 2-0 in favor of Noah Hone as we enter the second period. So Hone will take the down, and Tremblay will mount, and we are off and running. Quickly, Hone gets driven into the mat by Tremblay. Tremblay unable to get anything going, however. And Hone trying to still get up to a vertical base, unable to do so as Tremblay just brings him right back down. Tremblay now has the left ankle of Hone, trying to shoot the half, gives that up and goes back up to the top of the face. Nice cross face there by Tremblay, trying to break Hone down. Hone now is in trouble because he's got a possible half shoot there. Tremblay now on top, and now we are in a stalemate kind of position as both men are in a stalemate. Hone has a single leg on Tremblay and keeps a hold of it, and still, however, Tremblay has possession of the head. Gives that up, and then Hone takes the back of Tremblay, gives it a 4-0 lead in favor of Noah Hone of Kelly Walsh with a minute left in the second period. Tremblay now is really high up, Hone, is really high up on Tremblay's shoulders, unable to do anything with it is Tremblay. And so now Hone trying to break down Tremblay again to roll him over and get a side possible pinfall attempt. He's got the left shoulder and the left arm and the legs grapevine does Hone. And so now Tremblay is unable to go anywhere. Now Tremblay is got full down on the mat. Hone's got one arm locked, gives that up, goes back to the waist, tries to go for the other arm, unable to do so. Tremblay unable to get back to a vertical base. Now turns back into Hone. Hone unable to do anything with that. So now Tremblay tries to stand up with Hone. And then he dumps him over to the side, and now Tremblay is now on top. Unable to do anything with that is Tremblay. And now Hone has got everybody all tied up with 5 seconds left in the second period. No points have been given, even though a lot has been going on. So now it is 4-0 as we enter the third period. Wyatt Tremblay over Noah Hone. So they're saying no points were given. Like I said, a lot was going on there, but no points was given. So as we enter the third period, Tremblay will take the down and Hone will mount. Hone high up on Tremblay, buries Tremblay's face back down to the mat, all of the weight on the back and shoulders of Tremblay, unable to carry Hone's weight at this point in time. Hone looking for that wrist, being able to pull it over, and he's got it now. And Tremblay able to fight out of it. And now a wrist lock under the armpit of Tremblay, and now Hone trying to pull it back again, and again Tremblay fights it off. It is 4-0 with a minute and 20 seconds left in the third period in this fifth place match in the 170-pound bracket. There is a possible pinfall. Referee's calling for it. And again, it is Hone. Now he's got really good positioning. He's laying all of his weight on the shoulder of Tremblay. Tremblay is down on the mat. Referee is right there with 58 seconds left in the third period, and there's the pinfall. Noah Hone of Kelly Walsh takes fifth place over Wyatt Tremblay of DuBois in the 170-pound bracket. So, coming up, one that I'm really going to be interested in, we've got a couple that are going to be really good in my opinion. On mat number 1, it is going to be a really good one. Chris Topham of Riverton taking on Cody Cunningham of Lander Valley. These are two really big boys in the 285-pound bracket. They're going to be going at it for the third place. That is going to be one to watch. Both of those young men are really, really good wrestlers, and they use their weight to their advantage. So that'll be really good to see and a really fun one to see. And then over here on mat number 2, which is actually happening right now, it is Reagan Hogan of Evanston taking on Tugger Jensen of Wind River. So they lock up with a minute on the clock in the first period, and Jensen, again, as he has had most of the tournament, a height advantage over Hogan. Jensen and Hogan tangled up in the center of the mat, and quickly they're down to the mat, and Jensen gives up back control to Hogan, and Hogan is quickly going for some kind of a pinfall. However, that doesn't work. Jensen back up to a vertical base. It is 2-0 in favor of Hogan thanks to the takedown. And then another takedown. However, Jensen has got him rolled over with 18 seconds left. If he wants it, he can get the pinfall. Hogan is on his back. Jensen put all his weight on the shoulders of Hogan. Jensen has got the pinfall. Tugger Jensen getting the bad taste out of his mouth in the semis, getting the third place over Reagan Hogan. So right now we are waiting on the Chris Topham Cody Cunningham match for third place in the 285-pound bracket over on mat number 1. Over on mat number 2, it is the first place match of the girls. This is Josie Hoke taking on Vale Foreman of Star Valley. All right, so was not fully expecting this, but I'm all for it. Tugger Jensen just got done winning third place, and now he's going to come have a sit down with me, and we're going to talk about that. So that's going to be really cool. We're going to give him a minute to catch his breath, drink some water, do what he needs to. And I'm going to get this camera set up, if I can, on Tucker. And Tucker, I'm going to give this to you. We're going to get all kinds of set up. I was not prepared for this at all, but we're here for it. So we're going to put that on you. And Tucker, man alive, you've had a long couple of days, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about this tournament. I mean, my God, you are one of the tallest people that I've seen wrestle. And you use that to your advantage. Tell me a little bit about how height comes into play when you are wrestling in these tournaments?
Well, I know definitely gives me an advantage when it comes to reach. I got a lot longer arms than most people, and that definitely helps a little bit. Kind of reach out there.
In the second, in that match that we was sitting there and called, you had the semifinal match. You were within an eyelash of getting out of that round, out of that period, to going into the third period. It was like simultaneous. How big is it to come back into that third place match and get that win as quickly as you did?
Well, you just can't let it get to you. You just got to keep moving on and just forget what happened in the past. It's in the past. It's over. Just keep moving on. Just keep doing your best.
How good is it to get that third place?
Feels good, definitely, to come back and at least do the best that I could after the loss.
And last question for you. How big is it to be able to, from what I understand, you're a senior, and
junior.
So you're a junior. Okay, so we get one more year of you. That's good.
Yes, sir.
So how big is it to be able to take part in this Ron-Thon tournament and not only, take part in it, but like I said, you won third place out of the entire state of Wyoming. How big is that for you?
It definitely feels pretty good, wrestling a lot of older kids, it just feels really good. It's definitely a pretty cool feeling.
All right, I'm going to go let you take some breath and take a rest. You've well deserved it. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah,
that was Tucker Jensen. And, guys, I've got to tell you again, Tucker is really tall. He barely even fits into the chair that we're sitting beside. So thank you so much, Tucker, for being with me, and we'll see you again very soon, okay? And again, that was Tucker Jensen getting third place in his bracket after a really hard loss in the semifinals on a split second, and I mean a split second pinfall loss. And Coach Kyle Hunter is going to join me as well. Okay, so we're going to keep this rolling. So we're going to put that on you. And I'm really looking forward to this. All right, Coach, let me get you set up here. All right, Coach Kyle Hunter is now joining me, Wind River's head coach. And, Coach, just got done talking to Tucker. We're right here, and I called the semifinal match. We're in a split second that pinfall defeat. How big is it for your team, and not just your team, but Tucker as well, to get that pinfall in the third place match?
It's big. He had a good weekend this tournament. And it just shows our program and our kids, you put the hard work in, you put the right time in, that, success can happen, and it just shows that we're on the right track. And Tucker helped, leading us that way. And, it was just a good tournament and great fall there at the end.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I talked to Tucker about was his height. He is a massive kid. He is about, I'd think, 6 foot tall, maybe more?
Probably 6'4".
Okay, he's tall. How big is that when you're coaching Tucker to use his height in the matches that he's in?
It helps a lot, and it helps when you're really strong too. On top of that, and it's not just the height and the strength. It's just that he's just such a good kid, and he works hard, and he's very humble, and he comes to practice every day with a great attitude and just wanting to get better. And so, height, strength, and the will to get better is a great combination in a wrestler and a young man. So.
And last question for you, Coach. I mentioned to Tucker that I don't know if it's sank in yet, but he is in his weight class, third place out of the entire state of Wyoming. How big is that for the program at Wind River?
It's big. We come from a small 2A school, and when you have over 40 teams and this is the best of the best, and you come out third, that's just awesome. And it's something that it's exciting, and we want to continue to build at Wind River and continue to have these matches going forward. So.
All right, Coach, I'm going to let you go, and thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you at regionals and state.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That was Coach Kyle Hunter, the Wind River head coach, with us on the live stream at Ron-Thon. And again, Tucker Jensen taking the third place in his weight class. And again, a big win, not only for him, but for the program at Wind River. So right now we are still waiting on, as I can see it, we are still waiting on the match between Chris Topham and Cody Cunningham in the third place match of the 285 pounders. And there's 8 seconds left in a tied match over on mat number 1. And this is Dylan Glick and Coulter Hawes over on mat number 1 in the third place match of the 195, and we get to go to overtime. You know, I always love it whenever coaches and athletes just come up and have a sit down and they just want to talk. Okay, yes, and so now I have another athlete, so give me 1 second. We're going to set him up, and we'll be right back in just a second. All right, and so as the punches keep on rolling, Peyton Trumpler of Shoshone is going to join me as well as we still await the match between Riverton and Lander Valley. And so Peyton, first off, good to meet you. I haven't had the opportunity. You had an excellent tournament, really good all the way around. How do you feel going after the tournament?
I feel really good. It's always been one of my dreams to come here and just wrestle. I've never been able to because my freshman year I was sick, and sophomore year, of course, we didn't have it. So it just feels good to be able to finally be here.
And, you know, obviously you had a lot of really good matches. I called a couple of them and didn't even know, me being so new, didn't even know Shoshone had a wrestling team. You come out and you just almost steal the show in most of your matches. So how big is it to be able to wrestle, like you said, now your junior year, not being able to wrestle your freshman year, not being able to wrestle sophomore year, being able to come back in Thon and do as you did in this tournament?
It feels really good. Like I've grown up watching people wrestle here. Both of my brothers wrestled here, and they just never were really able to do it. And it's just been a dream of mine, and it feels really good to place as high as I did.
And last question for you. One of the things that I've noticed when I saw you wrestle is you don't get shook much. You try to stay as calm as you can. Your eyes seem very steady. How big is that when you're going 6-7 matches deep?
It's really important. Just staying calm and being collected is probably one of the most important parts of wrestling. I mean, you have a hiccup and you're done for it. So it's just you got to stay calm and collected, and if you're calm and collected, it'll do good for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Peyton. I appreciate your time.
Thank
that
you.
was Peyton Trumpler, and that is one of those kids that, like I said, he reminds me a lot of me when I was wrestling. And so good time to have him, and we'll see you in regionals as well. And good luck to you, sir. All right, so I'm now scared to go any further because I feel like someone else is going to come up and be like, hey, I want to be on a headset. So I'm looking around, and I don't see anybody else that could possibly come up and talk to me. And not like I'm complaining. That's a lot of fun to talk to these kids and talk to the coaches. And also, you're probably sick of hearing from me for the last 2 days. And so that's really cool to have those kids and coaches come up and have that conversation. So let me see where we are on the mats now. And because honestly, I have no clue. All right, so right now over on mat number 1 is a fifth place matchup between Aiden Mitchell of Thunder Basin and Danny Becker of Cody, and that is the 220s. And then in the mat in front of me on mat 2 is another first place match for the girls, I believe. That is, yes it is, that is Josie Hawk of Lingle Fort Laura and then Vale Foreman of Star Valley. And they are just now getting started. And then over on mat number 3 is a third round match between Riley Wagner and Maya Swain of Pinedale. So they have not even reached their championship matches yet over on that mat. So we have a little bit more to go, and I've been saying that for the last hour, I feel like. So we will go with it as we take the punches. I can see over across the way, Cody Cunningham of Lander Valley is pacing back and forth as he prepares for Chris Topham. Now, as far as I understand, and I think everyone who is listening and probably the people who are not are going to agree with me, anytime Lander Valley and Riverton meet in a sport, it's a rivalry. And so Cunningham and Topham are going to have probably the entire crowd on their side as it comes into this third place match. But we still got 35 seconds left in the second period as we await that match. Over on mat number 2, Josie Hawk and Vale Foreman, they have 1:28 left in the second period. And Hawk is close to getting a roll-up on Vale Foreman. Referee calls for a near fall, and so it makes it 7-2 in favor of Hawk. This is the longest day so far of the tournament. We started, I believe, at about 9 o'clock this morning, and we're now reaching 5:30. There is a 1:40 and counting on mat number 1, and it is 3-0 in favor of Danny Becker, I'm sorry. And again, looking over, you can see Topham and Cunningham really starting to chomp at the bit to get on the mat. Anytime Riverton and Lander Valley get together, it's going to be fun. Over on mat number 2, it is 7-5 as of right now. And it is the end of the second period. And the officials and the scorers are having a conversation. This is the first place match between, this is the third place match between Taylor Peters and McKenna Barham of Laramie. So it is 7-5 as it stands as of right now. And the officials are still having a conversation with the scorers and the coaches of Laramie. And the officials of Laramie, or the coaches of Laramie, seem happy. And the referee seems happy. And everybody seems semi-happy. And so we are good to go as we enter the third period, 7-5. There is 10 seconds left over on mat number 1, and it is 4-2 in favor of Becker from Cody. And that's that. So now we're really going to get into it as Chris Topham and Cody Cunningham are going to get on the mat. And personally, as someone who wrestled in the heavyweight division in high school, I'm looking forward to this. Cunningham has his left shoulder still taped, as he has the entire day. Wears the green and the black for Lander. Topham in the gray with the Riverton Wolverines logo on the back. They shake hands with each other, and we're off and running. These two young men are heavyweights as it gets. Jockeying for position. And they're going to go through the barricade. And like I said, it's Lander Valley and Riverton, and it's going to get heated. So they meet back in the center, and we're off and running again. Both push. Topham getting back in the center. Cunningham trying to get back in the center as well. They break it, and Cunningham is talking to Topham. Both men lock up with 15 seconds in the first period. Both are pushing. Both are pulling. Both are trying to find something. And finally, Topham goes down. Cunningham has the pinfall, and it is, that is not a pinfall. It looked like the time expired before the pin. And that is what happened. So it is 5-0 in favor of Cunningham. And that was close. Both young men meet back in the center as the second period begins. Both young men jostle around. And again, it's Lander Valley and Riverton. So there's a lot going on right here, but besides just the Thon. Cunningham starts pushing Topham back, breaks apart, and then goes back to the center. Topham tries to shoot in on Cunningham. Cunningham has none of it. Gets back control to Cunningham and takes the control 7-0 with a minute and a half left in the second period. And now Cunningham looking to make a move on the roll. Topham makes that difficult, stands back up. However, Cunningham still has control. Cunningham still has back control on Topham. Topham trying to get back to a vertical base, unable to do so. There is a minute and 5 seconds left in the second period, and it is 7-0. Both young men are jockeying for position, unable to do so, and they are both out of bounds. So there is a timeout on the mat for blood from Topham. Didn't see it a lot, but they're going to check on that, make sure he's all good to go. There is 53 seconds left in the second period, and it is 7-1 in favor of Cody Cunningham in the third place match of the heavyweights. And I was talking to a colleague that's sitting right to my right from Wyo Preps, and I was telling him I could not wrestle the guys that are right here. Too big and too strong. We are back at it with 50 seconds left in the second period, and both in the lockup. A little bit of head slapping, a little bit of head fighting. Topham tries to dive. Nice athletic move by Cody Cunningham to block it. Back up to a vertical base, and we're back to the center again. Cody Cunningham looks for wrist control as Topham tries to go in again on the dive, unable to do so. They lock up again, and now they're out of bounds. 24 seconds left in the second period, 7-1 in favor of Cody Cunningham. They are back to the center and off and running again. Both young men lock up, circle around with 10 seconds left in the period. Topham tries to make a move on Cody Cunningham, unable to do so. So as we enter the third period, it is 7-1, Cody Cunningham. And Topham and Cunningham are now going to go at it. Third period, and it's on. Topham takes Cunningham down. 2 points control on the back, 7-3 in favor of Cody. And the crowd is now getting juiced up as we enter under a minute and a half to go in the third. Cunningham trying to battle his way back up, sits out, and then turns out. Almost gets back up to a vertical base and does. And now he's out of bounds. And Coach Watson of Lander Valley is having a fit over at the official. He is hot. It is 7-3 with a minute 20 left in the third period. And Topham is now on top of Cunningham. And so now Cody Cunningham has got to carry all of his weight and all of Topham's weight. And now Cunningham almost gave up his back again. Cody is trying to fight his way back up. Topham again. There's a roll. 2 points given to Cody Cunningham that time. It is now 9-3 in favor of Cunningham with 55 seconds and counting. And the crowd is losing it, and coaches are going all over the place. Cunningham has got back control now with 45 seconds and counting. Topham trying to battle his way back up to a vertical base. Not able to do so as of yet. There is 35 seconds, 9-3 in favor of Cody Cunningham. Topham gets back up to a vertical base, and again Cody Cunningham gets back control. It is 9-4. (11-4) with 15 seconds left. Seven seconds, 5 seconds and counting. And it's going to be Cody Cunningham taking third place. Cody Cunningham with the 11-4 victory over Riverton's Chris Topham. What a match that was. And so from what I'm told now, they are going to start rearranging the mats. And so we are going to have the championship matches coming up here in a few moments. However, over on mat number 2 right now, Emma Crichton of Shoshone is taking on Olivia Smith of Kelly Walsh. They're just now getting kicked off in the first period. It's 1:40 left in the first. And then over on mat number 3, so there's only 2 matches going on right now before we start rearranging stuff. So this is the round 3 for Shoshone and Kelly Walsh, and then over on mat number 3 is the third place match between Richardson and Walker. Shoshone's Crichton has a little bit of a height advantage over Smith. Both look for wrist control. Smith grabs a hold of the head of Crichton. Crichton starts moving around a little bit more with 55 seconds and counting in the first period. And they're coming towards us. This entire week we've had the weekend. No one's gotten into the table yet, so it's bound to happen at some point. Christian and Smith both lock up with 30 seconds left in the first period. Head-to-head, wrist to wrist. 20 seconds left and counting in the first period in round number 3. It looks like Christian is looking for some type of a trip toe hold there on Smith, unable to get it, and with 5 seconds left, they fall out of bounds. And now there is 3 seconds and counting in the first period of this one. And that ends the first period with the score tied at 0. Smith will take the bottom and Christian will take Smith will take the bottom and Christian will take the top. And we're off and running in the second period. Christian high up on the shoulders of Olivia Smith. Emma has the legs grapevine for a moment on Smith, unable to do anything with it. Now looking to roll Smith is Emma Christian. Unable to do anything with it still. There is a minute and 25 seconds left in the second period. And hard cross faces to Smith. And again, Emma is high up on the shoulders and Olivia Smith tries to roll, unable to do so. So we're back to where we started with a minute left. And Emma Christian is trying to roll Smith. Got that wrist lock, trying to roll it. Smith has got Emma's ankle. However, now if Emma can just keep rolling, Smith is on her back now, tries to bridge out, still trying to bridge out. Emma's got all of her weight down on that one shoulder, and the referee is right there on it with 35 and the pinfall. So Emma Christian with the win in the third round for the Shoshone Wranglers. And that actually now is the end of all the matches on the mats right now. So now we're going to reset and we're going to go into the championship round. And so that's going to be in probably, I'd say, about the next 10 or so minutes. So I'm going to take a break right here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back for the first and second place matches. And I believe Coach Jay Gailey is going to come and sit down with me and call those matches. So we'll be right back in just a few moments. All right, so we are back, and if I sound out of breath, it's because I am, because we just had to move everything. And so we are now, I'm literally sitting in between both mats. We are sitting at the halfway mark of both mats, and so we are going to end up going to the first and second place matches of the evening. And as I said, Coach Jay Gailey will be with me at some point. So right now the girls brackets awards are being announced.
In the tournament, first up, 106 to 112. In third place, Maddox Gelhausen, Pinedale.
Maddox Gelhausen of Pinedale gets third place in the 106 to 112 bracket.
In second place,
Claire Nerd of Laramie gets second place.
And in first place, Rebecca Anderson.
And then Rebecca Anderson will take first place in the 106 to 112 bracket.
Next up, 113 to 121.
They are now announcing the 116
Danica Crumrine.
to 121 ladies bracket.
Second place, Andrea Conkle, Natrona County.
Andrea Conkold of
Tay McBride of Jackson Hole.
of Natrona County will take the 116 to 121. Second place,
Next up, 119 to 122.
and then we're going to move on to 119, 122.
In third place, Maya Swain of Pinedale.
Maya Swain of Pinedale takes third place.
In second place, Danny Dorte.
Danny Duarte takes second place for Shoshone, and then Riley Wegner of Lovell takes first.
Next up, 126.
And then we move on to the 126th. So what's setting up right now is as they announce the girls championship wins, to give you an idea of what we're about to get in on, it is going to be Orr and Seiler in the 106 championship match. And then Welsh and Smith in the 113 bracket. Profit and Powers in the 120 bracket.
In second place, Josie Hout.
Douglas and Alviglia in the 126 bracket, which I was told is going to be the one that will probably steal the show.
Vale Foreman, Star Valley.
Dalton and Coleman in 132. Phelps and Weber in the 138 bracket. Brenton and Gelhausen in the 145s. Steele and Poe in 152. And Wilcox and Houch in the 160s.
In third place, Layla.
Ring and Kuhn in the 170s.
In second place, Chloe Palmer of Wheatman.
Patterson and Walker in 182.
First place, Brindley.
195, it's going to be Bartlett versus Hoops. 220, it's going to be Parker and Timms. And then to finish it out at the heavyweights, it's going to be Catlin and Baker.
In third place, Avery Lane of Lovell.
So right now, I'm not 100% sure on who's going to go win, but right now they are still announcing the still announcing the placements of the girls' matches.
Next up, 138 to 144.
Before we kick off the championship matches here to finish out Ron-Thon.
Third place, Samantha Walker, Star Valley. In second place, Charlie Marie Jackson, Burns, Pine Bluff.
So the lights are out on both sides of the gym. They've got the lights out on both sides, and you can see the fans.
You just holler whenever you're ready.
Whenever they start on the first match, the chair's right there for you. So it is going to be, as I was saying, you can see the crowd over here. They are waving the flashlights. They're having fun. The fans behind me are waving flashlights. Lights are out, center's court right now, and right now I can finally tell you that we are going to start with Kaden Orr taking on Kaizen Seiler in the 106 first round match, or first place match. And we are going to finish the night off.
In third place, Jade Lurwood of DuBois.
We are going to finish the night off
Olivia Smith of Kelly Walsh.
with, if I'm reading this correct, Jack Ring taking on Colson Kuhn in the 170s. So they are still announcing the ladies bracket winners. And so we are just a few minutes away from getting this one kicked off. And Coach Jay Gailey of Riverton has very graciously and very humbly agreed to do some color with me. I'm not starstruck as of yet, but he is, like I said, he is probably one of the nicest guys that I've had the opportunity to meet in the shortest time that I've been here, and it has been an absolute honor to be able to work with him and get him on, get him involved in this. We had talked about bringing this the way we were since I got here on Christmas Eve, and to be able to see it come to fruition is great. And now the young men are walking out on the mats, and the crowd is erupting. The music is playing. The crowd is hyped. Athletes are out on the mats. And Coach Gailey is going to have a sit down beside me. We're going to put that headset on you whenever you're ready, Coach.
No.
All right, so Coach Gailey. Coach, we made it.
We made it.
So we've got the officials being announced right now. And Coach, again, first off, thank you so much for taking the time. It's a pleasure to have you here. Man, you've been running around since this thing got started at 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, it's a great event, and finally we're getting to the end. And as you can see, the crowd is huge, and everybody's looking forward to about what's ready to happen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, this is my first Ron-Thon, and being able to see the atmosphere, being able to feel the atmosphere, it's absolutely insane. When you told me that this was bigger than state, I called you a liar. And now I'm sitting here and I'm apologizing.
Yeah, I don't have the exact number of matches wrestled, but you know, I'm going to say it's somewhere around 1,800 or somewhere in there. I know the JV, it was 900 and some odd matches, and so it's just a huge event.
So according to Track Wrestling, we have gone in 2 days 707 matches. The final match will be 707 matches.
707 and then 900 and some at the middle school, so do the math.
I mean, that is insane to think about. And so let's size this up as we get started. At 106, the first match we're going to have is Kaden Orr versus Kaizen Seiler of Lyman. These two young men, I've got to see Kaden Orr a couple of times, really quick on his feet, really good wrestler. Kaizen Seiler over at Lyman, really strong and really mobile. Who do you got in this one?
Well, you know, Seiler, he's a senior, so he's going to have a little advantage just with that, you know, just being a little older. The Seiler kid's got a little funk to him that you better watch out for.
And one of the matches that I'm looking forward to, and I'm a little bit biased because I wrestled in this bracket, was the big guys at 285 pounds. Lane Catlin of Thunder Basin taking on Will Baker. And Lane Catlin I've seen a couple times throughout the day. He is a heavy, heavy kid, and he is light on his feet as well.
Well, I'll tell you, Lane Catlin, it's actually Catlin.
Catlin, okay, I'm sorry.
He is a tough, he's going to be a tough out.
But Will Baker is tall for it as well. And so, you know, we saw Tucker Jensen from Wind River and his size come into play. So I feel like it's going to be the quickness of Catlin versus the height of Baker.
For sure, Baker, he might be the only guy in the state that has to cut weight to make 285. He's that big.
And honestly, and I told this to a couple people, looking at the kids at the heavyweight division, I would not want to wrestle them now, and I'm at 265, but I'm only 5'8".
Right. Yeah, I really like Lane in this match.
So, Coach, another thing that I want to ask you is they're introducing all of the final competitors as a face-off. We talked about this before we even got to Ronthon, of how we wanted to really drive and bring wrestling to the forefront in Fremont County. And hopefully next year, from what we've done this year, we can top it. Unable to do video for the matches, unfortunately. We're going to try to fix that, but it's been an exciting atmosphere. So I know we're going to try to look ahead a little bit. So for Ronthon 2023, what do you want the message to be before we get kicked off?
Well, I'm going to go back to what I said yesterday. If you want to watch some exciting sports, come to Riverton High School gym.
And there is, and I'm serious, there is nothing like this atmosphere. I get goosebumps, and I'm honestly, if we were any more on the mat than what we are now, we'd be wrestling each other.
Yeah, it's a cool setup. It's great for the kids. It's great for the fans.
And what a turnout for fans, by the way.
Well, you look up in there and look behind us, and it's a packed house.
Yeah, there is standing room only right now, and it is absolutely packed. I'm surprised it's not 100 degrees in here. So good job for you guys to make it not like frying up in here.
Right. Well, here's the one thing I'd like to add to that is just the mere fact that, you know, this is so good for our kids. It brings a lot of excitement to wrestling, and I really think that the more coverage and the more exposure that this sport gets, the more it's going to take off. And then, of course, looking down the road, I think eventually the girls are going to be sanctioned in the state. So, you know, we ran a little sample of that this year, and I think that was really good for them kids, and we just got good things moving forward.
And I do want to talk a little bit about the girls. Obviously, the girls are we just had the awards given out for the ladies. What great matches on their part as well. Really good, entertaining, fun right there. And it was a great match between all the ladies that got involved. And we had a couple of Fremont County girls go and win the first place. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, you know what? I wish I could have. I didn't get to see a whole lot of the girls' action, but what little I seen, it was competitive, and I thought fundamentally they really done a nice job.
Absolutely, and that's something that we need to talk about. The coaches did a really great job preparing their kids for Thon. The fundamentals that I've seen from all of these athletes have been bar none, and so really good, entertaining wrestling on the high school level. And as you said, this is probably going to be bigger than state.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. As far as the fundamentals of wrestling goes, this sport, there's nothing complicated about it. The guys that are fundamentally the soundest and stay in the best positions most of the time are the ones that win.
Absolutely. So we are still waiting for the introductions to be done. And again, this is Travis Gupton, the sports director for the Wind River Radio Network, joined by Riverton head coach Jay Gailey, who has very graciously said that he would join me with these final matches of the evening. So last thing I want to talk about as the introductions keep on rolling, the economy for Riverton has gone through the roof since Thon has taken place. I'm staying at a hotel right now, and I'm glad I got there when I did because it was completely sold out by the time Thon even got started.
Well, yeah, I know for a fact that every room in Riverton's gone, and I just talked to a guy today that was somehow able to snag a room in Lander, and according to him, it was the last room in that town too. So
yeah, there has been some people who have come by and said that they were going to go over to the Holiday Inn, but the Holiday Inn was sold out weeks in advance. And so it is a big deal, and it is a lot of fun. And hopefully me and my fiance will get to go eat after this because restaurants have been booked too.
Well, that's right. It's a huge boost to the whole town.
And also it's a huge boost to the sport of wrestling as well.
Well, it's like I was saying, the more exposure we can get, the better off everybody is.
Absolutely. So they are now announcing the 220 matchup, and that is Tim's taking on Garrett Parker of Rollins. And I got to see Garrett Parker 3 or 4 times throughout the tournament, and if you're Carson Timms, you got your hands full.
Yeah, the Timms kid from Mountain View, he can also be a handful. That could be a really good match.
And right now, the one that I'm looking forward to is being announced right now, Lane Catlin and Will Baker. And again, look at this, and that's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Catlin, he can beat you in a lot of different ways, and if the Baker kid's not careful, he could get tossed.
What's really fun is you heard everybody go ooh and ah, only because Baker and Catlin met in the middle of the handshakes. So we're getting a little bit of frisk going on before the match even gets started. All right, so we're going to go with this. So over on mat number 3, we're going to start off with the big boys. It's going to be Lane Catlin taking on Will Baker.
Yeah, we run the finals just a little different here at the Thon. We start at the lightweight and heavyweight, and then we just meet in the middle and roll from there.
So we're going to go over and call the Catlin and Baker match starting in at 285. And we're going to try to keep abreast of what's happening between Kaden and Seiler over on mat number 2, which is now mat number 1. So you keep up with it as you will. So right now, it is 1:45 and counting in the first period over on the 106, and now 1:58 and counting over on mat number 2 between the big boys in Catlin and Baker. Nice shoot in there by Baker on Catlin. A lot of guys have tried that, and he just does not go down.
No.
However, as soon as I say that, Catlin goes down.
There's 2 for Catlin.
And I think that's the first time I've seen Catlin actually get taken off his feet.
Yeah.
Catlin is...
Oh, Catlin's
in trouble now.
Bar to wing here. Oh, he's got him. Stuck him.
And quickly, with 1:24 in the first period, Will Baker takes first place.
Oh, there's Orr in on Silas and has a little funk roll there. Got in on the front head. Silas on that front head. About ready to score 2 on the tape. No, Orr done a nice little counter right there.
There is under a minute left in the first period for Caden Orr and Kaizen Seiler. A little bit of head play in there, a little bit of smacking around, sizing each other up with 35 seconds and counting over on the 106 side. Garrett Parker and Carson Timms has just started squaring off over on mat number 3. Partner, I'll tell you right now, with 2 mats, this is going to be difficult.
Yeah, this 220-pound match could really be a dandy.
And this is the one that some people have said, look out for Timms, like you just said.
Yeah, Timms is he's a big 220. He's really strong. 106, there's the end of the first period, tied at 0-0.
Seiler almost had a roll up there on Caden Orr, but is able to get out of that. And so we go into the second with Seiler going to be on top, and Natrona County's Orr is going to be on top, and Seiler is going to take the bottom as the second period gets started. Over on the 220, they're under a minute now, and both men jockeying for position in the center of the mat.
Got a reversal there by Seiler.
Seiler gets the first 2 points of the match over in the 106 bracket. And looking to tear down Caden Orr is Seiler.
A lot of hand fighting going on with the big guys at 220.
And again, Coach, if you think about it, and I've wrestled multiple times, 2 state titles under my belt, that is what the hand fighting goes to.
Absolutely.
A nice shoot in there by Timms. Parker has the ankle of Timms, but Timms has got a death lock on the leg of Parker.
That's going to end in a stalemate there, going back to their feet.
And quickly they both jock for position on the wrist and then tie up again. Over on the 106, it is still Seiler trying to get a roll up on Orr, trying to get some kind of positioning on Orr. Orr tries to swing out. Seiler does really well to stick with him.
Must have had a penalty point on Seiler. All of a sudden, that's 2-1. I'm guessing it was a locked hands.
It could have been that, or it could have been back up to a neutral position and a turn and face. Both young men out of bounds, and they'll go out back to the center of the mat with 48 seconds in the second period to that one, and 2-1 in favor of Seiler of Lyman. Over on the 220 guys, it is 1:40 and counting, and Carson Timms is keeping control of Garrett Baker, and referee quickly calls for an out of bounds there. It looked like they were going to circle back in.
Yeah, that's there's on that out of bounds, the referees are under a lot of duress right there, just so much judgment.
And we saw that come, and we're going to end up on the 106 guys. Look out, 106 guys.
Yeah.
If Timms and Parker land on them, we're in trouble.
Seiler, he's really staying in really good position on top. Got that spiral going, and Orr's having a hard time getting any movement going.
Yeah, Orr has looked like he's tried to sit out and spin out a couple of times, but Seiler has just been able to stay right with him. And again, a nice single leg takedown there, face mat, and a point was given over to Garrett Parker of Rollins. And I did not see what the point was. I believe it was just a turn and a neutral face-off.
Yep, just an escape right there. Little blood time over here in the 106-pound match.
And again, I feel like if this is the championship match and there's no blood, we're not wrestling.
That's right.
And I'll tell you right now, these mats have seen a lot of blood this weekend.
Oh, man.
So, but also really good job for the trainers and for everybody else to be able to stay on top of that.
Yeah, our trainer, Ross Anderson, he does a great job.
Timms tries to shoot in on Parker. Parker is unable to do anything with it. Nice sprawl out there by Parker.
Timms for sure has been the more aggressive guy on their feet. He's took 3 or 4 shots. Haven't seen Parker really initiate anything offensively.
And that's really been Parker's game over this tournament. He's kind of like a late round kid.
Well, or he just cannot create enough movement to get away from Seiler there.
Parker is working on getting Timms turned over with 8 seconds in the second period, and I think 2 points has just been given to Parker on back control, so now it's 4-0 at the end of the second. So good one there over on the 220 side.
Just had a false start there on Orr at 106.
And I've seen a couple of those, and that's really hard to find the jump off in the right spot.
I'm surprised that Orr went down. It was his choice in the third period. He went down, even though Silas
has really had
rode him
control.
Yeah.
They are announcing the third place and second place matches over on the heavyweights. Right now, over on the 220 side, Timms had the opportunity to go for a single leg pickup and did not do so. And however, it is now 4-2 somewhere.
Just had a stall right there, stall call.
I've seen a couple of those as well. And for those who don't know, stalling is basically where you're just laying there. There's really nothing else going on. And so it's kind of like a delay of game. So that's the call there, and so it's 4-2 over there on 220. Over here on the 106 side, we are under a minute, and it's 2-1 in favor of Lyman Seiler.
Oh, we just had a penalty point at that.
Okay.
Orr was grabbing onto Seiler's headgear. Once Seiler gets the leg right in, he is just super tough.
Referees and coaches having a conversation telling him that he's grabbing a hold of the headgear.
Yep.
And so it's 3-1 with just under a minute.
That's an automatic illegal 1 point.
Absolutely. And again, to your point, Coach, Orr takes the down.
Yeah, that's a little surprising to me. Now we got a stall count going on here. That's Seiler. He is tough on top.
And he's got Orr all kinds of wrapped up now, looking for that shoulder, and he's going to try to roll into that pinfall. But Orr trying to make a comeback of it.
Just had a reversal over here with the big guys at 220.
Look at Parker drag Timms back to the center. It is 6-1 with a minute left in that one in favor of Parker.
Here comes Orr. He's about ready to score on Seiler. There it is. Oh, he just tossed him to his back.
What a takedown there by Seiler.
Nice.
And it is 5-2, and that is it.
There's your Ron Thon champion.
That is a Ron Thon champion through and through. Kaizen Seiler, the 106 champion. Good hard-fought match over there.
I'll tell you what, this 220-pound match, there's two big guys that really are working their tail off.
And they are down to 30 seconds in this one. 6-1 in favor of Garrett Parker of Rollins. And if I'm Rollins, I'm just wanting to make sure Timms doesn't get back up.
Yeah, Parker, he's got the Rollins kid has that bar, and 13 seconds left. This match is over as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, I won't say that I kind of expected that, but now we're going over to the 120, I believe that's 120s. 113.
113. The Cody kid, he's a freshman, and he is a stud.
Trey Smith is from Cody, and he comes in with a record of 23-1 as a freshman.
He is really, of course, the Campbell County kid, he's awfully good too.
Colt Welsh is a senior, so this is seniority versus new blood. And as soon as I say blood, there is blood.
This 113-pound match will really be one to keep an eye on. It's going to be super good.
Over on the mat to my right, it is the 195s. That is Keegan Bartlett of Central taking on Harrison Hoops of Star Valley. And I'll tell you, Coach, while we got a break kind of in the action right now, the match that I'm really looking forward to seeing is Stefan Douglas of Lyman taking on Antonio Alviglia from Thunder Basin, the 126.
126, every weight class in this tournament's tough, but 126 is loaded. Stefan Douglas could possibly be the best wrestler in the state of Wyoming.
He's coming in with a record of 26-0 right now, and so, but Antonio Alviglia has a really good record at 29-4, but we're not even to that right now. Let's keep a look on Colt Welsh and Trey Smith.
Smith in on a deep single, see if he can finish it.
In 6th place, Ryan Nutt of Pinedale.
Smith trying to pick up Welsh.
Welsh has got it. He's in on the wizard right there. It's going to be hard for Smith to finish this. Yeah, they're going to go out of bounds. Well, no, they wrestled back in. Nice job.
And finally, the ref, and again, like you said, the referee has discretion there, but it's not even for the out of bounds. It's for a blood stoppage again.
Yep. Welsh, he runs that wizard really well.
And the single leg by Trey Smith is bar none, and it's with how quick he gets it in, and the single leg pickup, I mean, it's like you blink and it's there.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
And again, that is a freshman in Trey Smith facing a senior. Over here, though, go ahead, Coach.
This Bartlett kid, for people that know wrestling, his brother is Tevis, and Tevis was a 4-time state champion that wrestled for Cheyenne East, and they remind me a lot of each other. Tevis was a big kid like this and moved really well and physical, stays in great positions.
And the Bartlett kid also, he's built. You know, he's a built kid for 195 pounds.
Very well built. Hoops from Star Valley, there's been about 50 of them come through there. Every one of them kids are super tough.
And he's coming in undefeated, 31-0.
Yep. He's got a tall order tonight.
And one of my favorite wrestling holds, looking for the single, it's like the cradle roll pinfall there Bartlett tries to get. Nice slam down over here on the 113 people.
Smith got in on a double right there and was able to finish it. He goes up 2-0 right there.
And there is 28 seconds left in the first period. Nice roll through there by Welsh as they go out of bounds.
A lot of action with them little guys, huh?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you right now, you know, that was a...
Hoops just scores an awesome takedown on the edge of the match, was able to keep his feet in bounds for 2.
And so that makes it 3-0 over there with 1:25 left in the second period. 10 seconds left over here on the 113 side of things, and it's set 2-0 in favor of
Smith's really deep on that 2-on-1 right there, was looking for a tilt. I think he might have scored right there if they wouldn't have had to stop again for
the blood issue.
Yeah. Oh, Hoops has got Bartlett on his back.
And he's just got to put all his weight down, and he's got it, and he's got plenty of time. He's got 55 seconds. He's got everything. He's got all of his weight on the shoulders. Hoops, it's got the pinfall.
Wow. There's a surprise right there.
Hoops from Star Valley takes first place in the 220s.
Hey, that's why we wrestle the matches, right?
In the 195s, I'm sorry, and absolutely, yeah. You know, and again, you talked about the lineage of all the hoops that came through Star Valley. That's something that they're probably used to seeing.
Absolutely.
And we go from one Star Valley kid to another one.
Well, this matchup here I think is very interesting. This Patterson kid from Star Valley, He's a tough dude. Cokeville, obviously, lots and lots of tradition there. This Walker kid, I've watched him a couple times. He's just solid, got great fundamentals, wrestles in great positions.
Nice sprawl out there by Zachary Patterson to make sure that Walker doesn't get anything on that shoot that he just tried to attempt. And again, Patterson again with the fundamentals, keeping the legs out, making sure that Walker has no opportunity to get a single leg.
Really milking that front head down.
And I'll tell you, when you have a kid that size grab your head and yank it down, you're going with him.
This will be interesting. 113, the freshman Smith's going down. See what Walsh does here.
Quickly down to the mat is Smith.
Going to have more blood time. There went the nose plug.
And I can see the blood on the mat. That was a hard crossface there by Welsh. Referees have just said, you know what, let's go.
Yeah, I'll let these referees. They've done a heck of a job this weekend. They have a tough job, and they'll let these kids wrestle. It's a physical sport, and they'll let them be physical.
Welsh gives up position, and then finally they call blood time. But, however, they did give a point to get to his feet and back to a neutral position for Trey Smith. So we may get through all the matches on the match over here.
Patterson just hit an ankle pick and took Walker straight to his back. He's going to stick him.
There it is. So Star Valley, you just had back-to-back first placers.
Man, Star Valley's on a roll right now.
So I'm not 100% sure who we got going next over here.
This is the Kuhn kid from Sheridan at 170.
Okay, so this is Colson Kuhn taking on Jack Ring from Central.
I watched this Ring kid earlier today, and I thought maybe coming into the finals that this might be the best match of the night.
I thought that the 126 would be the best match, but I can agree. This Jack Ring kid is something to behold, and they're not going to waste any time. They're sizing each other up really quick, and neither are wanting to make any mistakes. Nice takedown over here on the 113 side of things by Trey Smith.
Ring gets in there. Got in on a deep single, trying to bring it up high, see if he can finish here.
Nice block there by Colson Kuhn, however, and as soon as I say that, finally the takedown. Almost a takedown. They do give him the 2 points, however.
Smith's got Walsh on his back. Got him in big trouble.
He's got it deep. Smith has got it on his shoulders. Referee is right there. I mean, up in the business of Welsh. Welsh has still got it.
Great job of fighting off his back.
Absolutely. And that's something, for people who are starting to get into wrestling, keep the hips a-turning.
Yeah. Kuhn just got an escape there on Ring.
So now it is 2-1 with 1:10 seconds left in the first period of that one. Both looking for wrist control, and Coach, wrist control is probably one of the most important fundamentals when it comes to wrestling, and you see why right there.
There's Kuhn looking for a fireman's right there, can't finish it. Of course, Kuhn, he was a Gatorade Player of the Year in football, so he's a tremendous athlete.
And
little throw by there by Ring.
And he's going for that cradle pinfall. He's got his hands locked, and he's got Kuhn on his back. Referees are right there on top of it. One shoulder's not down.
Yeah,
he doesn't have it good.
It'll be hard to pin him right there because Kuhn's got his arm outside.
And in first place,
referees are still right there. They're going to give him a near fall, I would assume.
Yeah, that'll be 3 for sure.
But still no pinfall. And really, there's not really any danger of a pinfall here.
No, he's just still on a great cradle. Kuhn's trying to fight that off, and
he's trying to get it and does not get it.
That's an outstanding job of fighting off your back.
Absolutely. Kuhn has done that a couple of times throughout the the tournament. He has been in danger of, getting hurt, and something has happened over here.
I think Walsh just injury defaulted.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. And they just gave the bout to Trey Smith. And I'll tell you right now, I had that happen to me in a tournament. Go into the final and then get injured in the first 10 seconds of a match, of the first place match. That is something that you hate to see.
Yeah, that's too bad. About ready to start a 120-pound finals match. Prophet had a huge upset earlier today.
Yes.
He's really, of course, his brother's a four-timer. To have the record he has at 28-4 as a freshman at this weight, you're a tough out.
But he's not going up against any slacker. He's taking on Colton Powers of Sheridan, who really had his way the last couple of matches going into the finals.
Right away, Prophet's in on the front head, looking to score.
There is a minute left over in the 170 match between Ring and Kuhn, and it is 9-3 in favor of Ring. And over on the 120s, these two guys really yanking on each other's head.
Prophet's in on a low level right there. He's going to score. There's two for Prophet.
And he's got back control, and that's the 2 points that Coach was just talking about. And I'll tell you, this Prophet kid, he's a scrapper.
Yeah, he's slick.
And he's got control of that wrist, and he's going to try to look to get Powers on his back. Look at this over here, though. Now, I love this because when I was wrestling, that was not an illegal move. I could have picked him up and just slammed him.
Slammed him to the, yeah. There's been several rule changes just looking to make it safer. Nobody wants to get anybody hurt. Here he's back in on that cradle.
He's got it now.
He might pin him this time.
He's got it deep.
It is deep. Getting that top knee.
There is 5 seconds, though. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Still no pinfall.
I think that right there just goes to show you the importance of in Kuhn's case, he's got to get control of them hands to eliminate that cradle.
Absolutely. And we've seen how that situation in particular plays a big factor in matches, because we had one match that with only a second left, the pinfall happened simultaneously. So very good there to keep your shoulder off the mat. And as we end the first period, it's 2-1 in favor of Prophet.
Kuhn just got in on a nice little slide by right there and took Ring down 14-5 now. Minute 41 in the third.
And those two, I've been really impressed with these Sheridan wrestlers.
Well, Sheridan, they're tough. They're well coached. Tyson Shadow, he does a great job with them kids.
Nice single leg pickup there by Prophet. Takes Powers down. Sorry, does not take Powers down. Yes, he does take Powers down. We got so many matches going on right now, folks. It's just all over the place.
Prophet, he is really wrestling well right now. He never gets out of position.
And he doesn't seem to be in any hurry.
No, he never panics. Never panics.
So now they go back to the center position after the out of bounds. Prophet will take the top. Colton Powers will take the bottom. And quickly, Prophet drives Powers down to the mat with 1:25 in the second period. And with the wrist control, Powers ain't going anywhere.
Stalling on Ring from central.
And they give him the stand-up neutral position as well. So now it's 15-7 with 30 seconds left. So things could get kind of interesting over here. Possible single leg pickup. That goes down. So now there's 2 points.
2 for Ring right there. That's an odd position.
And that's 17-7. Really didn't have control there, but they gave him the control points.
Yeah, he was able to get in behind them arms and establish control out of that.
Now he's got full control, and that's going to be it. and he knows it.
That's a lot of points to be scoring against Kuhn right there.
That was a good, hard-fought match right there. And I don't know if you saw it, Coach, but with like 5 seconds left, the crowd over there was starting to talk to him. He looks up at him and just starts nodding.
Yeah.
So now we jump over to the, let's see who we got over there.
160 here.
Trying to find that on my, they don't have that on me, so I don't know who this is. So let's look at the bracket because I'm going to need to know who that is. This is the 160. This is Wilcox and Hatch.
Wilcox, he's a kid out of Natrona. He's really explosive, very quick.
And Wilcox tries to shoot, and you can see the frustration there. He thought he had a single leg there.
Yeah.
There we go, Kaden Wilcox and Morgan Hatch. And this is another young versus old. Wilcox a senior, Hatch a sophomore. Both of them lock up. Wilcox trying to throw off. Hatch unable to do so. Hatch has a really nice grip on that head and gives it up almost. A fireman's carry. And he's got, Wilcox had Hatch on his back for just a second, now looking to shoot the half.
Meanwhile, Profit, he's still in control of this match. It's 2-1. Now it just went 4-1. Profit scored a takedown.
And over here, they gave 2 points on control to Wilcox.
I'm really impressed with Profit.
Nice head whip there by Powers. It is 4-2 now with a minute exactly left in the third. And really, what I love about wrestling, Coach, is we're one near fall away from this whole thing changing.
That's absolutely right.
Over here, Wilcox has got almost a half Nelson.
Oh, he's going to try to bring him over his hip right there.
Now he's going to reverse it into the cradle, it looks like. Gives that up, and now he just takes full head control. There is 10 seconds left, and now he's going to try to sidestep, and Hatch had the opportunity to roll with him and get him on the mat, and we go 2-0.
Profit was in on a single over here at the 120-pound match, and they went out of bounds. 14 seconds left. Profit still up 4-2.
And a half-hearted there shoot-in by Powers. 5 seconds left. And can you believe it, the freshman, Ronnie Profit, is going to take the win.
That's impressive.
That's a big time right there.
That
and he
is
knows
impressive.
it. I love that he's pandering to the crowd, having some fun with it. Good time win there by Profit.
Yeah, that's a deal. That's a deal.
All right,
good for him.
Absolutely, and good for obviously the program over there. Big time win for them.
Yeah, old Daryl Bullington over there to Kimmer. He just does a great job.
So I want to keep an eye on this match over here. This is Stefan Douglas taking on Antonio Alviglia in the 126.
Yeah, this is going to be a good match. Avila, I've seen him wrestle a lot. I've seen Douglas wrestle a lot too. This could be a dandy.
This one is bound to be something special right here. Nice shoot in there. And I always hated this position because you're in no man's land right now.
Yeah, Avila's looking to push-pull right there. Douglas, he's got an ankle lacer. He's wanting to turn this into a scramble.
Both young men have the ankle, and they call it stalemate. Stalemate there.
Yeah, make them get on their feet and wrestle, right?
Absolutely. So over here on the 160s, Wilcox still in control of Hatch. It is 4-0 with 33 seconds and counting. And Wilcox has like a grapevine and now a wizard over that ankle, and he's making sure that Hatch goes nowhere.
Yeah, Wilcox, when he gets the boots in, he's tough. He's probably going to score some near fall points off of this.
He's got him on his back and on his shoulders, it looks like. Referee, though, shaking his head.
If Wilcox just pushes his head away a little bit, he's going to score.
He gave it up, though, and now he's on his shoulders himself.
Ooh, looking for the defensive pin right here. Look at it.
Oh, that was close.
Time ran out. That was close. Could have had a defensive pin right there.
Wilcox almost forgot where he was.
Yeah, that's a scary position. This 126-pound match is really, nice little super duck by Avila.
And a nice
re-attack.
Absolutely. And then a nice defense, but however, Avila has got the ankle of Douglas, making sure that Douglas goes absolutely nowhere.
Wilcox just doing a great job on top, in the top position.
Wilcox, what I like about how he wrestles is there is no separation between him and his man.
No, he's always tight.
And he's looking for that, what I call the, I don't know what it's actually officially called, but it's the double underhook pin.
Yep.
And now he's going to change it into a roll through, and he almost got caught on his back again.
He's still not out of danger right here.
No, it's 4-0, and there's still a minute left.
See Hatch trying to back in on him right there.
And Hatch gets control. That should be 2 points. They're not giving it to him.
Nope. Gonna have a stalemate situation here, I'm afraid.
Oh, don't drop him on it. I've always hated that position. That hurts.
Yeah, there's a stalemate. 45 seconds left.
And
Wilcox
honestly,
still 4-zip.
If you're Hatch, you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
Because now you sit out and turn around, and we're back into it.
Yeah. He's got to score here somewhere.
Oh, nice roll through. But now he's got Wilcox on his back. Hatch has the opportunity with 35 seconds left.
Oh, look out.
He's got control.
There's two.
Hatch
Wilcox
is going to go for the pin.
Back.
Hatch is on his, got it. Wilcox, the crowd loses its mind.
Tied up, 4-zip right there. Holy cow.
And with 20 seconds left, it is 4-4.
So right there's a great example of what happens when you never quit wrestling, when you never give up. He's down 4-0 in a matter of about less than 15 seconds. He ties the match up. Oh, he's high.
He's high up on the shoulders. Got to be careful here. 3 seconds left. Referee's going to wait for it.
Oh,
time is up.
First overtime of the finals right here.
And this is where things get fun. You listen to this crowd. You listen to this atmosphere. First points win.
Put 1 minute on the clock, and here we go.
Nice shoot in by, and there's back control. Oh. And what a motion by, what a move that was over there. Man alive, Wilcox and Hatch giving us a barn burner, and what a quick move there by Hatch to get the back control.
Sophomore just beat a senior.
And if you think about it, with less than a minute, he was down 4-0 to come back and get the win.
In overtime.
And check this out. We're in the third period now over here, and we're tied 0-0.
0-0.
And what a reaction by the crowd on that Hatch win.
Now Vila starts the period on top.
And that's different, and he just gave up control.
Yep, Douglas.
So that could be important. That's 1 point.
Absolutely, 1-zip Douglas.
So over on the right, that is Dan Steele of Sheridan taking on Cade Poe of Cheyenne East in the 152. And again, I feel like we've been seeing Sheridan a lot in these finals.
Yeah, they're really tough in a lot of weight classes.
And
see now Douglas, he keeps going to that ankle lace right there. Avila really has been the aggressor in this match. You know, he's been in pretty deep 3 or 4 times and just can't finish.
And honestly, Coach, if you think about it, it really doesn't take the quickest or the strongest. It takes the smartest to get the win.
Yeah. Battle of position.
Absolutely.
Got a couple of officials over our back here wondering what's going on.
They're just wanting to hear you talk.
Oh, Douglas, he's in on that front head, maybe going to score here. Avila's going to have to stay square, not to give that up. Oh.
Referee calls for a stall, I think. I didn't get to see what was called there, but we're back to center position, 30 seconds left, and it's 1-0 still.
We looking at another overtime?
I mean, you possibly could. I mean, or I'll take a takedown. I mean, but you've got 20 seconds, so if you are, if you're Vale, you got to go for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he goes for it.
Another shot.
There's 10 seconds left. He's looking for back control. He's not going to get it in time. He's got an ankle. Does Vale? There's 3 seconds, 2 and 1, and he's looking at the clock, and he knows it.
That's a tough loss right there. Avila really wrestled a good match.
Absolutely. And it was the one turn. It was the one neutral.
Yep. Of course, that Douglas, he is so hard to score on.
Absolutely. And the officials talking to the scorers, I'm assuming that's the final 1-0.
Yep, 1-0.
So we're coming down to the end of the night. And over here, it is Dan Steele and Caden Poe still tied as we enter the second period.
And in first place, Morgan Hatch, Lyman.
And Steele will take the top mount, and we're off and running in the second period. Both these young men battling for position. And I'll tell you what, Coach, throughout the tournament, that barricade has taken more of a beating than the mat has.
Oh, man. There's been a couple near wrecks, right?
Absolutely. A couple of people get almost saw their life flash before their eyes. Nice wrist control there, making sure that Poe doesn't go anywhere from Cheyenne East. Steele is really trying to get in on that right wrist.
Just being a hammer on top right now. Poe's just having a hard time doing much down there.
And that's...
Oh, now he's in on the hands.
Nice takedown,
Nice.
but no control was taken, so therefore no points were given. And there's 1:05 left in the second, and Steele has the right wrist of Poe, and now he's got a pinfall position. Nice sling down there, almost had him in a pinfall position.
I think, is he going to give him 2?
I see 2 points on the fingers
Yeah,
of the official, and there it is.
It is. 2 near fall. Off of a little tilt, 2-on-1 tilt.
But honestly, it doesn't look like Steele's happy with that. He was wanting to go for more, and we're on the table. Look out, cameraman.
Over here on mat 2, we have Thomas Dalton from Green River and Blaine Coleman from Rawlins. Coleman's 29-4 and a senior, and Dalton is 27-5 as a junior.
And those two, I got to see Thomas Dalton a couple of times from Green River, and, really hard wrestler, good fundamentals. But I will say this, Blaine Coleman from Rawlins, the kids from Rawlins, and I've only been here for a couple of weeks, I'm glad that I didn't have to wrestle any of them.
Right. They're the last couple of years, they've really gotten tough.
And over here, we enter the third period between Dan Steele and Cade Poe. It is 2-0 in favor of Steele.
Oh, he just cut him loose.
And now it's 3-0 in favor of Steele. And we saw how important 1 point was in the match just before. Over here on the, let me see, who is that? We got, there we go, Thomas Dalton and Blaine Coleman. They just entered the second period. And 2 points was just given over here to Dan Steele again on a takedown. And so it's 5-0, and they call a stalemate. And so we go back to the center of the mat, and off we go again. And again, now it's 5-1 as Poe is able to get out and turn around. And Coach over here on the 132 side, they've got a lot going on. And one of the things that we don't talk about in wrestling is a lot is just the tearing down, the chopping down. And that's exactly what Thomas Dalton is dealing with with Coleman.
Yeah, Dalton, he's doing a great job on top right now, and it's going to be hard for him to clear bottom. You get rode that long, it's taxing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thomas Dalton is going to be tired as the rest of the match goes on. When you're carrying your own weight and carrying someone else's weight, and that person's trying to make sure that you go the way that they want you to go, it is difficult. Nice almost sit out there, but a good defense there by Thomas Dalton. By Blaine Coleman, keeping a hold of the legs of Dalton. And your leg is not supposed to bend like that, Thomas Dalton. That is a pretzel and a half if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, he's going to try to shelf that. Warning for stalling right there.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm okay with that.
That's interesting.
Something just happened over here, and it looked like the time has expired, and Dan Steele gets the win over on the 152 side. Back over here, there's 30 seconds left in the second period between Dalton and Coleman. And Coleman is now getting ridden by Dalton.
Got him in reversal there. He's up 2-0. This over here on mat 3 with 138, Cody Phelps is a senior at 32-0. This kid is for real.
Cody Phelps has been an honor to watch.
Yes.
I've caught a couple of his matches on the way here, and there is no wasted motion when he does anything. And as soon as I say that, he gets back control.
Headed to Western Wyoming to wrestle for them.
And what a pickup they're going to get.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he's legit.
But Devin Weber of Wheatland, no slouch at all as a senior, 33-5 coming in.
Yeah. Now right there, Phelps just cut him. Probably feels more comfortable on his feet right now and thinks he can take him down at will, which he just did.
What an absolute sling of the wrist. And that was just one-handed wrist control down to the mat, back control 4-1 in favor of Phelps. And honestly, Phelps is probably the favorite in this one.
For sure. Well, one thing about Phelps, when he gets going, the kid can put on a clinic.
He's got a nice, deep, it looked like a hammerlock there, gave that up. Still has control of that wrist, gives that up. And he's willing to he was going to be willing to let Weber up, but he still keeps contact. And again, if you're a young wrestler, stay in contact with your opponent.
Yep, there it is, 4-2. There's this, Phelps just took him down again.
And what I love about Phelps is, and what we're seeing here, Phelps is honestly just getting the points.
Yep.
He's not worried about pins.
Phelps right now, he just needs to ride him out to finish the period.
Yeah, don't let anything crazy happen.
No.
And that's the end of the first period, dominated by Cody Phelps of Pinedale.
Score late in the period, then ride him out. That's
smart.
It's smart.
Over here, Dalton and Coleman are 18 seconds away from Dalton winning the 132-pound bracket.
Not a lot of scoring in that match, but it's been really good.
And that's something, nice try to sit out there, and a nice keeping a hold. Dalton tries to keep on, and that's it. All right, so back over here, it is Phelps and Weber, and it is 8-2 in favor of Cody Phelps.
Our placers at 152. In 6th place, Giovanni
Weber in on a single right there. I don't think he's ever going to be able to finish that on Phelps.
In 4th place,
Phelps got him body locked right there.
It looks like it's more of the defensive, but Phelps lets him get him up. And now he's got a single leg possibly, and that doesn't work. And Phelps slings Weber back down to the mat, and then they give him a neutral position for
Now
Weber,
he's going to work.
or for
Going
Phelps.
to cut him again. Phelps is going to cut him again.
He's literally letting Weber get up, and then just to bring him back down.
Now over here on mat 2 at 145 is Gilhausen from Pinedale, and Billy Britton from Natrona. This could be a really good match. Britton started the year out at 170. Now he's down to 145.
And that is not easy to do.
No, but he looks really good. I've watched him several times in this tournament, and he's really wrestling well. Gilhausen, returning state champion. Out of all the brackets, this 145-pound weight class was the hardest one to seed. I mean, there was, Brenton's got 2 right there. And
Britton almost had the opportunity to get Gilhausen on a pinfall, and now he's going to try to cradle roll.
Yeah.
He's trying to set up for the cradle roll. He doesn't have his hands locked, so he doesn't have it fully.
Brenton would go to a butcher right here.
Nice swing around on the other side, now trying to get the butcher. Over here on the Cody Phelps Devin Weber match, it is 15-4 with 10 seconds left in the second period, and it's all Cody Phelps.
Yeah, I felt he just too much to handle.
and now our placers
42 seconds left in the 145-pound match in the first period.
in 6th place,
Britton's still up 2-zip.
And Britton is going to take the top control over Gilhausen.
in 5th place,
And let me say this before we get too far away from it. The Natrona County kids have been in a lot of these semifinals and finals matches at this Ron-Thon. Again, I just got here as we see this almost a pinfall attempt there by Britton. Britton grabs the head and trying to really frantically get a hold of Gilhausen. But these Natrona County kids, there's something really special to watch as well as it comes to wrestling. And again, I've only been here for a couple weeks, but they're fun to watch.
They're really good. Scott Russell, he does a great job with them kids. He's a competitor just like everybody, but he really pushes them guys, and he gets a lot out of them.
And they called the end of the second period, and so we're going to go neutral eye to eye. And personally, I'd rather have it that way. And now there's blood.
Oh, I think Gilhausen poked him in the eye.
And I will say this, Gilhausen stopped the match, let the
Yeah.
official know,
Yeah.
and that's good to see. So now we go back to the central position. Gilhausen tries to shoot in on Britton twice, unable to get it in. There's 45 seconds over here, and it's 21-7 now in favor of Phelps. And now Phelps is going to try to pin Weber.
Oh, he's got him on
And
his
he's got him.
back.
He's got him on his side.
Oh, it's going to be if he even gets out of this, it's going to be a tech fall.
Phelps has got that really locked in deep, and he gives it up. Really, no big deal if you give it up. It's 21-7 with under 15 seconds.
All right.
And now Phelps again. And that's it.
Yeah, that guy's so good on his feet.
That kid is amazing. If I get the opportunity to, I want to talk to Cody Phelps. So I'm going to see if
Yeah.
I can get him over here because that was something special to watch.
Last match of the night here at 145 with Britton and Gilhausen. Britton still up 2-zip.
And they're within 50 seconds of the second period.
Oh, Gilhausen in on a deep shot.
Gilhausen tried to go in deep, unable to do so. Billy Britton now with a single has the head of Gilhausen, circles around, keeps circling around. He's looking to try to scoop it, pin here. 30 seconds and counting in the second period. And they will go back to the neutral position with 26 seconds left in the second period. And Coach, really, this could go either way still.
Oh, for sure. Both of them just looking for some offense right here.
Britton and Gilhausen locked in a tight one. 9 seconds, 8 seconds.
138-pound placer and report to the award stand. 138.
Thank you. Sorry, Coach, I'm back. Yes, sir. So we are at the end of the second period. It is 2-0, and it is in the third period, as I said, and like you said, Coach, final match of the night.
Britton, he's down now, just got one for an escape.
So now it is 3-0, so now you need to look for a near fall.
Well, Gilhausen got in on a nice single right there, but not going to be able to finish it, I don't think.
Absolutely not. Britton has the head control of Gilhausen. Gilhausen tries to reverse, unable to do so. And if he breaks it, it'll be neutral position. And then it'll be 3-1. But that ain't happening. A lot of action, absolutely. And Gilhausen pushes his way out of bounds to get the break. So with a minute 14, it is 3-0 in favor of Natrona County's Britton. Both young men lock up in the center of the mat, and we are right at a minute left in the final match of the 2022 Ron-Thon.
Yeah, Gilhausen, he's just going to have to open up and try to find some offense here.
Yeah, he tried to shoot, do a half-hearted shoot there,
Yeah.
unable to do so. Easily blocked there by Billy Britton. And again, Gilhausen tries to shoot, and Britton able to sidestep. There is 35 seconds left. Both young men grabbing a hold.
Britton, he's a pretty heavy-handed.
Absolutely. He's got a, when he slaps, it hurts. There are 25 seconds exactly. And now, as Coach said, it is Gilhausen going to have to open it up.
Yep.
And he just looks tired. And as soon as I say that, he drives him down to the mat. Britton is down on the mat, and Gilhausen's now going to try to go for it. There's back control. There's 2. Now he's going to try for it again. 3-2, 4-2 now. 5 seconds left, 4 seconds, and he ran out of gas. What a final
Great
effort
match.
there between Billy Britton and Colton Gilhausen.
Great match.
That is absolutely outstanding. All right,
Last
so
one.
that was it.
Ron-Thon 2021's over.
2022.
2022.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to next year.
Well, I sure appreciate you having us, and can't thank you enough for the coverage that you give us, and hope everybody enjoyed it.
Absolutely, and I hope that they did as well. And we're going to talk again soon. We've still got a little bit of season left.
That's right.
And one of the matches I wanted, before you run away, you've got Lander coming up here on the schedule, and that's going to be here, I believe. Correct?
It's in Lander.
It's at Lander.
Yep.
But anytime Riverton and Lander gets into any kind of competition, it gets fun.
It's crazy.
So, Coach, I thank you so much. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be right back with some interviews, and then we're going to close things out.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. All right, we are back with the wrap-up of the 2022 Thon Wrestling Tournament. And again, what an amazing tournament. A lot of fun, a lot of action going on. Congratulations to all of the guys and the girls that placed in the tournament. And again, let me remind you that this season is not over as it relates to wrestling. So there are still about 2 weeks or 3 weeks before we reach regionals. And I will be posting all of the schedules and all of that as it relates on our website on WyoToday.com. Right now, I'm waiting on Pinedale's Cody Phelps to join me on the headset. And Cody, thank you for taking the time. All right.
Is this backwards?
It is. It's hard sometimes. All right. So what we're gonna get Cody all set up here. And Cody, first off, thank you so much for taking the time on the we're on the stream. I didn't even tell you who I was. I'm Travis Gupton. I'm the Wind River Radio Network sports director. I wanted to take some time to talk to you because as someone who has wrestled in the state of Tennessee, 2 state titles, you are something special to watch, my friend. To be able to see you wrestle was an honor. In that championship match, you have a really unique way of going about things.
Yes, sir.
You don't really look for the pins. You're more of a points guy.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about going into this tournament, how important it was to you. From what I understand, Coach Jay Gailey said that you're going to Western Wyoming, and so I'm looking forward to hearing what you think. How big is this tournament, and how big is getting another win in the Thon?
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I was pretty disappointed we didn't have it last year. I think I could have wrestled pretty good here last year. But yeah, as far as my game plan goes, I really don't usually really look for anything. I just kind of go out and wrestle.
And one of the in the match that you just had in the first place, tell me a little bit about that match. Walk me through some of your progressions because it seemed like you had control the entire match.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really have a game plan most of the time. I just kind of go out there to score points. I tried to turn him at first, and I really couldn't. He was pretty strong. So I just decided to keep him on his feet because I knew I could take him down.
And so how big is getting the win for Thon? You said last year not being able to wrestle, with COVID and all that, not so great. How big is it to be able to walk out your senior year and be able to get the first place in Thon?
Yeah, it's definitely cool. Yeah, like I said, it would have been nice to have it last year. I think I could have competed pretty well. But yeah, it's definitely nice to win it my senior year.
And from what I understand, you are going to Western Wyoming, correct, to wrestle.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what is Western Wyoming going to get when you get on campus?
Well, hopefully hopefully for me it's just a big learning experience, I'm not really sure as far as their part. Hopefully I can All-American next year. That's my goal. But, yeah, I just hope that I get to learn a lot there.
Last question. Talk about the importance of getting the first place in Thon for not just for you, but for your school as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely cool. Our team's program's still pretty young, so it's nice to kind of get us on the radar for a lot of the other states.
Awesome. Cody, I thank you for your time.
Yes,
and
sir, thank you.
Congratulations again. First place of the Thon in your weight class. And look forward to seeing you when we come around to seeing you at Western Wyoming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That was Cody Phelps here on the post-game show of Thon. And again, absolutely a clinic that he put on in the final match to win the first place here at Thon. So that is going to do it for me. And again, thank you so much for having me be a part of Ron-Thon. We are going to see you next year at Ron-Thon, but again, stay tuned because there are other matches going to happen, other duels going to take place, and so we are not fully done yet with this season. So that is that from Ron-Thon in Riverton, Wyoming. We will see you next time.